Well, thank you very much for attending this year's Legacy Luncheon as we honor a long-standing relationship between the Texas Cavaliers and Sunshine Cottage. My name is Pre Ball, and I've served on the board here at Sunshine Cottage for 5 years. My wife Julie, I can't even say that. My wife Julie and I are proud to be the chairs for this year's Legacy Luncheon. We have some special friends here to begin the day with their wonderful program. So please stand and join our students as they post the colors and the Pledge of Allegiance. And then it will be followed by the Texas Pledge led by our very own Mateo Reyna from the 5th grade.
Color guard, advance. Post the colors. Please join me for our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America. Please join me for honoring the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas Pledge. Allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Color guard, retire.
Let's give a quick hand for Mateo and that color guard. What a great job. So while y'all remain standing, I'd like to invite Reverend Patrick Gahan to lead us in a prayer. Down here, wherever you come on up here.
She has to look at you to hear you. She has to look at you to hear you. I caught that instruction not here, but on the campus where I serve at Christ Episcopal Church. It was 2 Saturdays ago when we were doing the St. Francis Day blessing of the pets. And I saw a gaggle of our teenagers all, handling their dogs and cats and parakeets and pythons. Gerbils, which the python was eyeing. But I saw one little ginger-haired young teenager, beautiful young lady, whom I didn't know. So I went over to introduce myself, and one of our teenagers said, Pat, she has to look at you to hear you. And that's when I realized that she was deaf. And I began to speak with this incredible young woman, only to find out that just a few weeks before, on August 29th, she'd returned from Sao Paulo, Brazil, where she had swept so many of the international swimming championships. And then I asked her, I said, did you attend Sunshine Cottage? And she said, yes, sir, I did. And that's when I realized where she received such courage and the ability to look you straight in the face with such dignity and confidence. That's because she was in this sanctuary of miracles. And so after meeting her and knowing I had to be prepared because I fear Belinda, I wrote this prayer. So let us pray. Blessed Lord, you made us in your image, which means you made us altogether wonderful if we dare see it. We run, we learn, we laugh, we discover, we give, we receive, we hug, and we swim. Lord, when the vagaries of life obscures those wondrous gifts, you have showered on us your love. And we forget sometimes, without that love, that we're marvelously made. You provide us enchanted havens like Sunshine Cottage, where we can once again claim our unique beauty and innate strength, where we can look upon your artistry sculpted in one another. Your servant Isaiah foretold the ministry of Sunshine Cottage. See, says Isaiah, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland, says the Lord our God. May it always be so for our children and our children's children. And Lord, thank you for the bounty you've placed on these tables that will nourish us in the long afternoon to come. Yet mainly, blessed Lord, you have given us one another. May we truly, truly look across the table so that we may earnestly hear and see the beauty of one another. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Gay, and what a great prayer and a super message to start it off. I'd like now to introduce Emily Jones, the Sunshine Cottage Board Chair. Emily?
Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome each of you to the 8th Annual Legacy Luncheon. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge my colleagues on the Board of Directors. If you would please stand to be recognized. Thank you for your service to the school and for your unwavering dedication to the mission of Sunshine Cottage. It is a joy to serve with each of you. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Circle Bar Foundation, for your generous support of this event and for all of the support that you've given Sunshine Cottage over the years. We're most grateful for your generosity and for the generosity of all of the sponsors who helped make today possible. It's such an honor to be part of the Sunshine Cottage legacy that Dela White began 72 years ago. The students of Sunshine Cottage were truly Dela's garden, and she's left us all in charge of ensuring that this garden continues to grow and bloom. Thank you again for joining us today, and please enjoy your lunch, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes for the rest of the program. Thank you.
Good afternoon. If I may have your attention, please. Just continue eating. My name is Belinda Puska, and I'm the Executive Director at Sunshine Cottage School for Deaf Children, and thank you so much for being here. We're here today to honor our good friends, the Cavaliers, and let me tell you a little bit about the Cavaliers. And some of this I got off their website, so if it's not exactly correct, it's just information I collected. Okay, now Sunshine Cottage has been around for a long time. But the Cavaliers have been around as an organization even longer than Sunshine Cottage. Both of us have a long legacy within the community. Both of the Cavaliers and Sunshine Cottage are steeped in tradition, and we have deep ties in the heart of San Antonio. The Cavaliers began as an organization in 1926 when John Carrington invited 19 friends to be part of a social organization dedicated to riding horses. And then in 1989, the Cavaliers made the historic decision to form a charitable foundation to support children's needs here in San Antonio. Today, the Cavaliers have evolved into a philanthropic organization that gives away $1.5 million a year to children's charities. In 1952, which was 67 years ago, our history tells us that Sunshine Cottage received the first visit from a King Antonio to our school. And for most of the past 67 years, King Antonio has been a regular guest at Sunshine Cottage, providing wonderful memories for our students. When you ask one of our fifth grade students about their favorite memories whenever they're getting ready to leave Sunshine Cottage, all of them will list within their top 2 events the Fiesta celebration, when we crown our own royalty, or riding on one of the 45 floats in the river parade. They love that. They love the pageantry. They love the tradition. They love the costumes, the crowns, the visit by King Antonio. And when King Antonio and his entourage visit Sunshine Cottage, we're always on the lookout for Cavaliers who are moved by our mission and our students, and we usually pick them to fill in the ranks as board members. When we looked back at our records, 11 of the King Antonios have been board members at Sunshine Cottage, and an additional 37 of our board members are or have been Cavaliers. And I might have missed a name or two, but we also have Cavaliers who serve on our investment committee, on our endowment board for Sunshine Cottage. And I'd like to say thank you on behalf of all the children that we serve. Thank you to the Cavaliers and their members for sharing your wisdom, your kindness, and your support over the years. Thank you so much. And at this time, I would like to call Pre Ball, a member of our board and a member of the Cavaliers, to come back to the stage.
Well, thank you, Belinda. It has been such a tremendous honor to be part of both boards, the Texas Cavaliers and Sunshine Cottage. They're great organizations that do so much for this city, but I can't take credit for the Cavaliers side nor Sunshine Cottage. They've got great administrators and staff here, as y'all know, so very proud of them. What I'd like to do today is introduce that leadership for the Texas Cavaliers. So starting with the man that's responsible for bringing in the funds and protecting our assets and then giving those away to the charities is the president of our charitable foundation, Mr. Vince Dawson. The second is the man responsible for running our organization, the commander of the Texas Cavaliers, Mr. Bart Simpson. And lastly, the face and the public image that spreads the Texas Cavaliers word throughout the city, King Antonio, the 97th, Roger Hill III. Welcome. Roger?
Thank you, Pri. It's truly an honor to be here today. I feel like we should be honoring Sunshine Cottage and not the Cavaliers, because without Sunshine Cottage, where would these kids go? These kids wouldn't have a future, and the schools is able to give them that future. And so I want to thank everybody here. I want to thank the school. Thank you all so much for all you're doing. Quick little story, as Pri and everybody have alluded to. King Antonio is honored to come here and visit the school during Fiesta. I had the honor of being here last Fiesta. We come in, there's a big presentation, big coronation, gifts are exchanged. These kids come up here and speak to us. Our entire castle was in tears when we left the room. It was an amazing and a truly moving experience for all of us involved. I go around to schools, I leave books behind, and the book I left behind this year was Be Brave. And I think it was 3 or 4 days later, I get a video from 4 or 5 kids telling me about how this book touched their lives. So again, thank y'all so much for honoring the Cavaliers today, but thank y'all for what you're doing for these kids. It's amazing. Keep up the good work.
On behalf of the Charitable Foundation, just want to say thank you very much. The heart and soul of the men's organization has always been the River Parade. And then in 1989, when a group of visionaries started the foundation, all of a sudden now the heart and soul is bigger, so that it includes charities. And central to that is Sunshine Cottage. Y'all keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you for having us and honoring us here today. And I can't add much to what Roger said, except that when we come here, a handkerchief is required for our uniform, because nobody leaves with a dry eye. And I also would like to thank Sunshine Cottage because the very root of Cavalier Charity started right here. Sunshine Cottage, we learned how to be charitable through this organization. And our visits predate our charitable foundation. And this is such an important and special place to us. So thank you so much. We've gotten way more out of this deal than anybody else. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, thank you, guys. You know, it takes a lot of work to do this, put on this organization for the Sunshine Cottage, and to put on what you guys do. So thank you very much. Thank you. Now, back to Belinda.
Wait just a minute. I have a gift for you guys for being our honorees today, and as a way of saying thanks, there will be, first of all, a brick placed in Dila's garden out front in the front of our school, commemorating this event. And also, our students have written a book about their friends, the Cavaliers. And in this book, it's filled with short stories and wild adventures, including Jolly John Saves the Hearing Aids and Two Dogs and a Cavalier. But anyway, thank you. And I know that you will enjoy these books very much. They're very special. But thank you again for your continuous support and friendship. Thank you. Now, we have a very special guest. I would like to introduce a parent of one of the Sunshine Cottage students, Deanna Johnson, to tell you a little bit about the journey of her child, Annabelle Johnson. Deanna is the mother of 3 daughters named Annabelle, Charlotte, and Emma. Deanna's husband, Tech Sergeant Evan Johnson, and their family have been stationed at Lackland Air Force Base since December 2016. Now, I would like to introduce you to tell the story.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Deanna Johnson, and I'm so honored to be here. I'm gonna start crying. Sorry. Okay, sorry. All right, we're gonna get through this. Okay, to tell my daughter Annabelle's story with you all. Unbeknownst to her father and I, Annabelle's journey started at birth. She failed her newborn screening, but it was just chalked up to a quick delivery. At her next screening, she passed, and we thought that was that. As first-time parents, you don't know when to be scared or concerned or what's normal. So when Annabelle snored, spit up all the time, and had trouble sleeping, we just thought that was all part of the process. After multiple months of multiple doctor's appointments and trips to specialists, it was finally determined, this isn't even the hard part, that sweet Annabelle had sleep apnea. 4 months after her first birthday, and 2 weeks after her sister was born, she had her tonsils and adenoids removed. She recovered quickly and went from failure to thrive to finally on the growth charts. Needless to say, we had a huge weight lifted off of our shoulders. And we thought the hard times were over, but we could not have been more wrong. We moved to San Antonio at the end of 2016 for my husband's job, and we continually say that our family moved here for Annabelle. A few weeks after being here, I took Annabelle to an ophthalmology appointment and figured it would result in glasses or patching. That 3-hour appointment, ended in a week's stay at CMC. She had multiple labs, CT scans, MRIs done to figure out what was going on. It was determined that her optic nerves were swollen in her eyes, and we didn't know for how long that had been the case. At one point, there were 7 specialists in the room updating us on what exactly had been going on with sweet Annabelle. It turns out Annabelle was born with Pfeiffer syndrome, and the geneticist knew as soon as he saw her. As much as we were relieved that we were finally getting answers, we were also full of questions and we were mad that her previous team hadn't caught any of it. Her syndrome had caused craniosynostosis, which is where the sutures in her skull fused together too soon, and it also caused a collapsed midface, so everything in her head is compressed. This explained the sleep apnea that was previously discovered. She had a small procedure done to relieve cranial pressure, and 2 months after her second birthday, she had cranial vault reconstruction. The 5-hour surgery was a success, and her neurosurgeon was able to remove enough bone and reconstruct her skull to make room for her growing brain. To say Annabelle is a fighter is an understatement. A couple of days after her surgery, she was running around the hospital room and was a typical 2-year-old. What a relief. We thought all of our fears were finally brought to rest, or so we thought. So because of Annabelle's syndrome, she was placed on 2 craniofacial boards, one on base and one off base. And I know you're all probably wondering what this has to do with Sunshine, but I promise I'm getting there. So her boards consist of ENT, audiology, speech therapists, neurosurgeons, and dental, just to name a few. So we went to these appointments to track for changes, and when the speech therapist questioned her speech and language, we said, well, she's 2, she can hear us, she talks a lot at home, like maybe she just doesn't know you, she's uncomfortable. And even though we fought it, I'm glad speech was persistent. We were almost mad that she made Annabelle get a hearing exam, and another, and another. And finally we landed in Dr. McAvoy's office at University Hospital, and what we felt like was a waste of time ended up really shaping Annabelle's future. He completed a sedated ABR, and the results were consistent with all of her Booth results. She had mild to moderate hearing loss in both ears. The moment I heard she's gonna need hearing aids, I remember asking, okay, well, like for how long? Because up until this point, everything had been fixable, right? We could do a surgery, we can fix this. We had a plan. And so when Dr. McAvoy said, well, for the rest of her life, we were very frustrated, and I remember I could have screamed. So he handed us our hearing molds, her molds that he got, and we took that. So I remember wondering, why is this happening? What does this mean? After everything she had already been through, like what now? I was so familiar with her other conditions, I felt completely lost with this new diagnosis. We told ourselves it would be okay, and it would all work out like it always does. As it was, Annabelle was a joy through it all. She went through every doctor's appointment, scan, procedure with such grace. She has taught us more about patience, and endurance than any child should ever have to. We had heard about Sunshine Cottage from a relative who has a child with hearing loss whose son attends Sunshine, so I immediately called her. Her response was, well, you're sending Annabelle to Sunshine, like no questions. I remember thinking, okay, well, let me go visit it and we'll see. We'll see how we feel about it. So we made our appointment with the parent-infant program, and Donna met us, and from that moment we were hooked. The level of comfort we felt was unreal. Donna walked us through Annabelle's hearing loss and what it meant for her. On April 25th of 2018, a couple of weeks after her 3rd birthday, Annabelle received her first pair of hearing aids. The fact that Sunshine was able to provide us with loaner aids while we navigated the hearing aid world to get our own was such a blessing. The first night Annabelle had her hearing aids on, she turned to her dad while they were reading books and said, Daddy, I like all the noises. I think we both bawled that night. How did we not know that this had been going on, and how did we let our daughter go 3 years unable to hear us? She's never taken them out, she's never thrown them, so needless to say, she loves her hearing aids. Annabelle enrolled in preschool last year and is in pre-K this year, along with her little sister who's in preschool. I cannot tell you how much I love and appreciate the people at Sunshine Cottage and what they've done for Annabelle and for my family. The teachers have taught us how to continue her development at home and start her schooling off on the right foot. Sunshine Cottage is not a school in my mind, it is an extension of my family. The teachers, audiologists, and speech therapists have been there with us from the beginning of this part of Annabelle's journey. They've held me when I cried and answered all of my questions, and I'm the queen of questions, Like I have like 2 binders full of things, right? Like from all of our specialists. They truly care. From Mr. Bryan welcoming each of the kids by name when they walk in the building, to teachers and specialists checking in on their kids during the breaks in the summer, you can really feel the love. Over this past summer, Annabelle had another major surgery, and to have Sunshine staff come and visit her in the hospital, it truly validated all of our feelings. We knew they loved her, but I think we underestimated how much. Sunshine Cottage will always hold a special place in our hearts. I don't like to think about a life without sunshine. This school has been such a blessing, not only for the kids who desperately need the resources, but for the families as well. Their ability to help calm our fears, provide us with answers, and hardware has been invaluable. Being a military family, we know that one day our time in San Antonio will come to an end, and I'm dreading that day. I know no other school can compare to Sunshine's love, knowledge, and passion. In closing, I just want to say that I love that this is called the Legacy Luncheon, because each one of you are allowing these students to create their own legacy and not be defined by a piece of hardware. And for that, I will forever be grateful. Thank you.
I remember having her little head hooked up to all these things, and we didn't know what was going on, and they said, so ma'am, your child is deaf, and here's a brochure. We didn't know what that meant. We didn't know if she would ever be able to talk to us, to say I love you or anything like that. So we were pretty worried. And they said there's a school here in San Antonio that's for deaf children. We talked to Lisa for several hours, and she was just so nice about walking us through everything and saying, this is gonna be okay. We're gonna help you. We have resources to help you. We got her little hearing aids on at 2 months old. We just haven't looked back since. Gosh, just Sunshine has just walked us through everything, showing us how to clean devices, how to help her be a learner and learn to listen, learn to speak.
Yeah, I love you. I love you.
There's no way we could have done this without this school and without the resources that they gave to us.
When I first meet a family who has received the diagnosis of hearing loss, I immediately think of the parent's strength. It takes courage to walk through our doors. It is a privilege to witness the love of a parent and the results of their commitment to teach their child to listen and talk.
One thing that I truly feel that Sunshine Cottage has done for Will is really given him a voice. Not just in a sense that he can articulate more clearly, but Will can advocate for himself. I feel a sense of confidence that he will be fine, even after we leave Sunshine Cottage. I didn't feel that way before. As a parent, I'm just as concerned as most about what happens when you're not there, and are they gonna be okay? And I really don't have any doubt that Will is gonna be fine. Socially, he has just blossomed. I don't have any concerns about making friends and being able to maintain relationships that maybe before he would have been a little bit more shy or not as inclined to engage in with other kids.
I learned about hearing loss, seeing that most schools people don't teach about hearing loss.
Our daughter was diagnosed with hearing impairment when she was 2, and were told about Sunshine Cottage. When she started, she had very little intelligible speech, and after 3 years was speaking so well that we discussed with the counselors and teachers here whether or not we should send her to her mainstream school, and she thrived in the mainstream school after leaving Sunshine. Today, Lyric is in college as she attends the Fashion Institute of Technology, and she's studying fashion business management. She was given so much that my wife and I could just never give back enough. I was approached to join the board, and I've been on the board ever since. Going on, I believe, my 12th year now in serving in various roles and capacities so that more families can have the experience that we did.
It is incredible to think that Dila had a vision for Sunshine Cottage 70 years ago. Now we are able to help children listen and speak much earlier because of state-of-the-art technology of hearing aids and cochlear implants. I can't imagine that Dila would have ever thought that this is where we would be today.
I had the idea because I had the child, but it's the faculty, the board, and the community who have made Sunshine Cottage what it is today.
Is this on? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 72nd Annual Legacy Luncheon. My name is Lyric Green, and I hope you've enjoyed everything so far. So, with the support of my parents and the curriculum at Sunshine Cottage School for Deaf Children, not only did I learn how to listen and speak, Sunshine taught me the confidence to be able to function independently in the hearing world. I attended Sunshine Cottage from pre-K to first grade and then mainstreamed to public school. I've set and met many goals in my lifetime, and I've ended up in the #1 school in the world for my field. I moved to Manhattan at the age of 17 to attend the Fashion Institute of Technology. I am now majoring in fashion business management with plans to study abroad in Florence, Italy come the fall of 2020. Friendships are so important in our lives, especially here at Sunshine Cottage. The school began because of the special friendships Ms. White had. The friendships I built at Sunshine Cottage and the support I received ensured that I was able to meet all of my goals. Giving back is another aspect at Sunshine Cottage. In my senior year, I was given the opportunity to give back. I was able to mentor and tutor a 5th grade boy, and I've kept a lasting friendship with both him and his mother. The longstanding friendship and support that the Texas Cavaliers share with Sunshine Cottage ensures that current and future students can reach their goals as well. Let me introduce some very special friends of mine. Please help me welcome the 1st through 5th grade classes performing a special song for the Texas Cavaliers.
You got a friend in me.
thanks again to our students. They have been so excited about doing this. They have, they've spent a lot of time practicing, and this is their fall break. So their parents had to bring them up here and drop them off, and they have been very thrilled about this. Now comes a time when I get to say thank you. I'd like to thank this year's chairs, Pri and Julie Ball. And we have, for you, 2 books that will be placed in our library in honor of your help in making today successful. One of them is The Boy in the Airplane, and the other is Friendship is Like a Seesaw. Stand, please, and let us say thank you. And I would be remiss if I did not say thank you to our development team and all our employees who've come and helped and volunteered on their break as well. This has been a wonderful event, and thank you very much for the work you do. Sunshine Cottage children have been able to grow and thrive for the past 72 years through the support and generosity of our community of friends. This year, we ask you to help us to continue to support our children by visiting our giving garden, picking a flower, giving a gift, and touching a life. No donation is too small, and all gifts make an impact in the lives of children and their families. The flowers on your table are also for sale at $25. There are envelopes on your table if you want to leave a check, cash, or credit card information. You're welcome to pay at the front desk. All proceeds benefit the children of Sunshine Cottage. And just remember that it has been through your generosity we can pay for 200 children in our parent infant program, more than 180 children in our day school program, and we perform over 400 hearing tests for infants annually. That's pretty remarkable. We have people available who are willing to provide tours if you would like to see the school. And once again, thank you for being here. Drive safely. God bless you. And again, thanks for all your support.